And we welcome you to the Frostbank Center in San Antonio, Texas, and we have another NBA play-in tournament game for my 2025-2026 season playthrough. We have the second game of the play-in game in the Western Conference, featuring the number 10 seed, the Phoenix Suns, and the number 9 seed, San Antonio Spurs, as we have the Suns finishing the season at 46-36, as we see the starting lineups for them: Booker, Green, Hayes, Davis, O'Neal, and Williams. While for the Spurs, we got Fox, Castle, Vassell, Johnson, and Wembanyama. We had Devin Booker, or the Spurs, finish the season at 48-34, tied with the Dallas Mavericks, with the Mavericks won the tiebreaker for the 8th seed. And now the Spurs and the Suns are playing in a do-or-die game to start off their quest to make the NBA playoffs, as Wembanyama will miss the first shot of the game. See Devin Booker with it, coming around. Booker, no good. And as Victor Wembanyama with the rebound. We already had the first game of a doubleheader. This is the second game of the doubleheader for the Western Conference play-in tournament. We had the 7-8 game earlier today that was out at 3 p.m. Eastern on this channel. That game was won. Spoiler alert if you didn't watch it. That game was won as Jalen Green with the three-pointer there. It's 3-0 as you see the Spurs. You see 4 games versus the Spurs this season. Green has averaged over almost 31 points a game. As you see it over to Wembanyama. Wembanyama for 3, no good. Nigel Hayes-Davis grabbing the rebound. But the Mavericks did beat the Warriors earlier, 124-104 to advance to the Western Conference quarterfinals. They are in the NBA playoffs as the 7th seed. And now we have a do-or-die game where the winner will take on the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco, while the loser is home, gets an early start on a vacation. They see Wembanyama. That's no good. Williams grabbing the rebound here. Neither team wants to go to Cancun just yet. Their destination is San Francisco. And then if they do well in San Francisco, then they go to Los Angeles to start the NBA playoffs here. As you see Castle with the rebound. Tomorrow we will have an Eastern Conference doubleheader for the play-in at 3 p.m. Eastern. We will have the Heat and the Pistons, followed by the 10-9 matchup featuring the Raptors and the Cavaliers. We'll remind you a little bit later on about these games coming up. You see Jalen Green back over to Williams. Dishing it back over to Booker. Booker with the jump shot. That is no good. I think Fox had the rebound here. Send it over to Castle. Castle, deep 2, no good. O'Neal grabbing a rebound. See Devin Booker with it, dishing it over to Jalen Green here, 15 on the shot clock. Back over to Jalen Williams. Williams over to Booker. Booker coming around to Williams. Williams is going to go to the line. Count it. Wembanyama called for his first personal foul. Wemby with it. Wemby. He has a foul. See Devin Booker going to the line for the and one opportunity. Oh, no, that's not Booker. That's Williams, I think. Yeah, that was Mark Williams. My foul. I thought that was Devin Booker for a second. Please excuse me, guys. Wembanyama, though, was called for the foul, and he dishes it over to De'Aaron Fox here. We already have a timeout called by the Spurs. 8:51 to play in the first. We're going to take a timeout. The Suns leading it by 6. Coming out of timeout here, it is 6-0 Suns right now. I see everybody coming back out on the court prior to the timeout. 19 to shoot for the Spurs when they inbound it. It looks like Keldon Johnson will inbound it. We'll give it to De'Aaron Fox at the Frostbank Center logo. 14 on the shot clock. Fox coming around. Over to Wemby. Wembanyama will get the Spurs on the board at 6-2. Wemby has it for the... There's Williams coming around. They should it back over to Jalen Green. Over to Booker. Booker for three. That's in there. Devin Booker putting the Suns up by 7. Devin Vassell has it for the Spurs right now here. As I said, this game coming to you from the Frostbank Center here as you see Fox for 3. No good. I am Vinny from Vito Productions on the call here. This is game 2 of the Western Conference play-in tournament as Williams is rejected by Wembanyama. There's Stephen Castle coming around. Over to Vassell. Vassell for 3. No good. Keldon Johnson getting the offensive rebound. Back over to Wembanyama. Wembanyama no good. Royce O'Neal grabbing a rebound. We got Green coming around. Green with the bucket. It's a 9-point lead. Jalen Green has 5 points in this game. Williams and Booker have 3 each. See Wembanyama, that's a miss right there. Williams will get the rebound. See Booker with it. Devin Booker coming around. Dish it over to Green. Green for 3. That is in and out. Wembanyama grabbing a rebound here. 5 minutes into the game here. Jalen Green had 37 points in the game win against the Oklahoma City Thunder. That was only huge only for the fact that it cost the Thunder the 1 seed in the Western Conference and home court throughout the entire NBA playoffs. Wembanyama coming around, and that is no good, but Wemby gets his own rebound and the slam dunk. See Jalen Green with it crossing the half-court line here, 18 on the shot clock. Green, and that's stolen by Fox. Fox coming around, dishes over to Keldon Johnson. Keldon Johnson with the slam dunk. Nice ball movement there. Fox with that assist. Looks like Harrison Barnes is waiting to get into the game now at the scores table. Booker for 3. No good. And that's an offensive rebound by Jalen Green. Over to Booker again. Booker back to Green. Green for 3. No good. Vassell grabbing a rebound here. We're over halfway through the first quarter. Johnson, jumper. No good. Green will grab the rebound. Gives it over to Booker. Booker again for 3. No good. Once again, Vassell grabbing a rebound. 5.5 to play in the first. Over to Fox. Fox for 3. No good. Williams grabbing a rebound. Over to O'Neal. O'Neal will get the layup. It's a 7-point lead. See De'Aaron Fox pushing it back over to Vassell. Vassell back to Fox. Fox. That's in there for a 3. It's 13-9. Timeout. Phoenix. 4:54 to play in the first is a 4-point lead for the Suns. We're going to take a timeout. Now we got substitutions out on the court for the Suns. Booker staying in the game. Now we got Goodwin Allen. And then let's look at the lineup set for the San Antonio Spurs here. Fox stays in, so is Wemby. And then we got Waters, Johnson, and Barnes. That will be the lineup set for the Spurs here. Iguodaro into the game. That was the name I forgot to get. That didn't get out. Richards also as well. Over to Devin Booker. Booker coming around. There is the bucket. The shot up no good. Lindy Waters the third with the rebound. Booker still 3 points. 1 of 4 shooting right now. You see Lindy Waters back to De'Aaron Fox. They shoot it back to Harrison Barnes. Over to Johnson. Johnson for 3. That's in there. Keldon Johnson bringing the Spurs to within 1. They're starting to wake up. See Iguodaro. He's going to go to the line as Harrison Barnes called for his first personal. That's a second team foul called against the Suns, or the Spurs. As Iguodaro is at the line for 2 here. If you like what you see so far, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out, as that will hit the front rim on the first one. So Iguodaro is 0 for 1 at the line. And he'll sink the second one. Suns leading it by 2. See the half-court line here for De'Aaron Fox. Fox coming around with the layup, and we are tied at 14 with 4:05 to play in the first. Booker crossing the half-court line. Let's see Booker coming around, layup, that's in there. Devin Booker giving them a 2-point lead. See Fox for 3, no good. Richards grabbing a rebound. See Devin Booker. Somebody else over at the scorers table now for the Phoenix Suns. Waiting to get into the game as Iguodaro back over to Booker, over to Goodwin. Dishing it back to Booker. Booker for 3, no good. Waters the third with the rebound. And the Phoenix Suns, man, that team just a few years ago in the NBA Finals, and now 5 years later they are fighting for fighting in the play-in tournament. Richards coming around. Booker, that is blocked by Wembanyama as you see Fox for 3, no good. And then, as you say, you get the Spurs that have not made the playoffs since 2019, as Richards with the dunk. Grayson Allen had the assist. But in real life, the San Antonio Spurs are one of the better teams in the league. They are definitely showing that they were on the rise, as that is a miss there. Or no, that's in there. See De'Aaron Fox in the regular season averaging 23.2 points a game. Iguodaro. Should be interesting how I can compare this regular season, as I know there's teams that are a lot better in this universe than they are in real life, and then there are teams that did bad in this universe that are actually good in real life. Case in point, Detroit is playing in the play-in tournament with a losing record, but I think they're one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. We got 32 here, minute 32 to play in the first. You see Grayson Allen back over to Booker. Booker for 3. That's in there. Devin Booker putting the Suns up by 5. And during the regular season, he averaged just short of 30 points a game away from, it wasn't PHX Arena. It says PHX Arena in the game, but some kind of like company name, new company name. They switch names quite a few times during the offseason. I see Grayson Allen with it. De'Aaron Fox only 7 points on 3 of 10 shooting and 1 steal. Gives it over to Booker. Booker's going to go to the line for 2 as De'Aaron Fox called for his first personal foul. Booker will hit the first one, and we got some substitutions out on the court for both teams. Sohan for sure coming into the game. And let's look at Booker now, and he will sink them both. It's a 7-point lead. Stephon Castle back into the game. Luke Cornett is back into the game. Oh no, Luke Cornett checks into the game. What am I talking about? Barnes coming around. 7 on the shot clock over to Waters. Waters deep 2, no good. Richards grabbing a rebound. Booker over to Allen. Allen. There's a jumper for him, and that's his first 2 points of the game. It's a 9-point lead for Phoenix. Shot clock turned off. And there, Castle coming through. There's a three-pointer. That is no good, and that will do it. We are at the end of the first quarter. The Phoenix Suns leading the Spurs 25-16. This is the play-in tournament here on Vita Productions, and we'll be back to start the second quarter after this. Set to start the second quarter here as Goodwin will take the inbound from Iguodaro. As the Suns up by 9 here. Richards will put the Suns up by 11. Goodwin will get the assist there. Let's look at it here. No, Cornette, Castle, Barnes starting, Sohan. That's a little bit of the lineup set for the Spurs here. Castle for 3. So this Castle, Waters the third, Cornette, Barnes, and Sohan. As we said, we had Goodwin, Richards, Allen, as Richards with another slam dunk. Who else is out there? Kind of hard without the names here. You see Harrison Barnes coming around. Back over to Stephon Castle. Castle coming around. Gets a shot up. No good. Green. So Jalen Green's back out there as well. So we got Green, Goodwin. Grayson Allen is out there. As well as Richards and Iguodaro. That is the actual lineup set. As you see Grayson Allen with the bucket there. It's 31-16. Suns shooting 12 of 25 compared to 7 of 28 for the Spurs. Castle, make that 7 of 29. So the winner of this game moves on to moves on to take on the Warriors in San Francisco for the ultimate elimination game. The loser will call it off season. As we see, there's another three-point attempt. That actually ends a drought of nearly 4 minutes and 20 seconds for the Spurs, as they're within 12. So the winner moves on to the Warriors for a chance to win the 8th seed. And the loser, as I said, goes home. Goodwin coming around. No good. Sohan with the rebound. 20 on the shot clock for the Spurs. Stephen Castle. Over to Cornette. Luke Cornette back to Barnes. Harry Barnes coming around. That's in there. Harrison Barnes bringing the Spurs within 10. Harrison Barnes won an NBA championship with the Golden State Warriors. And so there's 8 on the shot clock. Goodwin. And then he ended up signing a contract with the Dallas Mavericks, as that's an out of bounds going to the Spurs. And we have a timeout here. 8:54 to play in the second. We're going to take a timeout. Substitutions out on the court here. Let's look at it. Look at the lineup set here. We got Booker, Green, Allen, Fleming, and Richards. The lineup set for the Suns. And for the Spurs, we got Castle, Vassell, Barnes, Sohan, and Wembanyama coming back into the game. That is your lineup set here. Booker. That is in there, and very quickly the Phoenix scores right off the timeout here. As I mentioned about Harrison Barnes, he won the 2015 NBA championship, played the 2016 season. He was part of that team that blew the 3-1 series lead, but then Castle for 3. Signs, as you see, Wembanyama with the slam dunk. But you see that he signed an offer sheet to go to the Dallas Mavericks as a restricted free agent, as that's no good there by Booker. Vassell will get the rebound. However, the Warriors signed Kevin Durant, and they did not match the offer for Harrison Barnes there. That's how he became a Maverick. And then, of course, near the deadline of 2018-2019 season. See Green coming around with the layup that's in there. Suns up by 12 again. Up by as many as 13. That trade deadline, he played in that game knowing full well he was going to get traded. The night that he got traded to Sacramento, he was taken off the bench when the trade actually became official. But he fully knew he was going to get traded somewhere. You see Jalen Green being guarded by Vassell over the Booker. That's no good. Wembanyama grabbing the rebound. You see Stephon Castle coming around with the slam dunk. The Spurs within 10. So we're 5 minutes into the second quarter. 35-25, Suns on top. There's at 6:50 to play before the half. Booker dish it over to Allen. Allen for three. That is no good. Sohan will grab the rebound. Stephon Castle over to Vassell. Wembanyama with it. Back to Castle. Castle for three. No good. Wembanyama back over to Castle. Castle, jumper. No good. Richards will grab the rebound. Stephon Castle, 5 points, 2 rebounds on 2 of 10 shooting. The Jalen Green with it. And he'll lose it as Stephon Castle will grab the steal. Over to Vassell, back to Sohan. Sohan with the assist, or with the layup attempt, no good. Booker grabbing a rebound here as we are halfway through the second quarter. Booker, that shot is in. Devin Booker with 14 points in this game in 16 minutes of play. Only shooting 33%, but the Suns leading it by 12. Timeout Spurs, 5:42 to play in the second. We're going to take a timeout as well. Let's look at the lineup set coming out of the timeout here for the Suns. Booker, Green, Hayes, Davis, O'Neal, Williams. And then for the Spurs, we have Fox, Vassell, Barnes, Sohan, and Wembanyama. So Castle's going to go to the bench. As Sohan getting ready to inbound it over to Harrison Barnes. Back over to Sohan. Dishing it over to Wembanyama. Wemby. There it is. Victor Wembanyama. He has 8 points in this game. He's really ice cold shooting right now. 4 of 12. His team trailing by 10 right now. Jalen Green coming around. Over to O'Neal. O'Neal for three. No good. Wembanyama grabbing a rebound. Over to Luke. Over to Vassell. Back over to Fox. De'Aaron Fox. Coming around. Dishing it back over to Fox. Fox. There it is. De'Aaron Fox bringing the Spurs within 9. 43% to 32% for the Spurs shooting here. We got Jalen Green coming around. Green, no good. Vassell grabbing a rebound. Sohan over to Vassell. Wembanyama for three, no good. Williams grabbing the rebound here. We got Jalen Green back over to Booker. Booker over to Hayes Davis. Hayes Davis back to Williams. Williams over to Green. Green for three. No good. Wembanyama will grab the rebound. Under 4 minutes to play here in the third, or in the second, I should say. Over to Fox. 9 on the shot clock for De'Aaron. He's going to come around with the layup that's in there. And the Spurs are within 6. Last night, it was the earlier game, it was the Warriors getting off to a fast start here, and there's a foul called against Victor Wembanyama. That's a second. First team foul called against the Spurs, and we have a timeout by the Suns here. 3:27 to play until halftime. We're going to take a timeout. Coming out of the timeout here, 6-point lead. Let's look at this lineup set here. We got Booker, Allen, Hayes, Davis, O'Neal, and Williams. That is for the Suns here. They didn't show anything for the Spurs, so that might be the only player coming back into the game. 14 on the shot clock. Hayes Davis gave it over to Booker. Booker, jump shot, no good. Barnes grabbing the rebound. Vassell with it. As he'll lose it, as Williams will get the steal there. Hayes Davis. Oh, he stays in bounds, though. They shoot it back over to O'Neal to Booker. 3 minutes to play until halftime. Grayson Allen for 3. It's a 9-point lead for the Suns here. See De'Aaron Fox crossing the half-court line. And stolen by Booker. Booker dishes over to Allen. Allen for another 3. That's in there. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Grayson Allen. And the Suns leading it by 12. Down to the final 2.5 minutes of the half. Wembanyama with it. Coming around. That shot's up. No good. O'Neal grabbing a rebound. Over to Allen. Allen back over to Hayes Davis. To O'Neal. Back over to Allen. Back to Booker. Booker coming around. That is no good. Over to Williams with the offensive rebound. Booker has it. 2 minutes to play in the half. Grayson Allen will miss the 3-pointer there. Devin Vassell with the rebound. Fox over to Sohan. Back over to Fox. 14 on the shot clock. Dishes it back to Wembanyama. 9 on the shot clock. As we see Wembanyama dishes over to Vassell. Vassell will get it off. He will hit the 3, and the Spurs are within 9. Got a minute and a half to play until halftime. 43-34, Suns on top. Devin Booker for 3, and he makes sure that lead is back up to 12. 17 for Booker. 7 of those coming here in the second quarter. Remind you that the winner of this game will take on the Golden State Warriors for the right to be the 8th seed and take on the Los Angeles Clippers in the first round of the NBA playoffs, while the loser calls it a season. As we see Hayes Davis with it. And then tomorrow we'll have the 2 Eastern Conference games. As we see Grayson Allen. Allen for 3. No good. Wembanyama grabbing a rebound here. Under 40 seconds to play until halftime. Vassell for 3. He's going to go to the line as Allen called for his first personal foul. Devin Vassell going to go to the line shooting 3 with 37.4 left to play in the second. I'd want to assume Wednesday will be the, as we see the miss there, as we're going to have Keldon Johnson, I know, coming back into the game. And Stephen Castle coming back into the game as well, as you see Sohan and he's going to the bench. Vassell will hit the second one, I believe. So he missed the first, hits the second. We still got Williams, Booker, Hayes Davis, and Allen and Williams out on the court. That's in there. He'll hit 2 of 3. It's a 10-point game here. Devin Booker holding on to it. 20 on the shot clock, so they do have to get a shot off before the end of the quarter. Booker for 3. That's off the back iron. Wemby with it. And, shot clock turned off here. See over to De'Aaron Fox being guarded by Booker. That's no good. Williams will grab the rebound. Shot clock once again is off, so now they can hold for the halftime. You see Hayes Davis back to Booker. Booker for 3. That's in there. Devin Booker putting the Suns up by 13. And there's a shot that is no good, and we head to halftime. The Phoenix Suns, the 10 seed in this Western Conference play-in tournament, leading the Spurs 49-36. You're watching the 2025-2026 season playthrough. We are in the play-in tournament. on Vita Productions, and we're going to take you to halftime. We will see you in the second half. Getting ready to start the second half here in San Antonio. The Suns leading it by 13. And they dominated throughout the majority of this first half. You look at Devin Booker. I believe he's like over 20 points scored in this game right now. The Suns shooting only 41% in this game compared to the 32% by the Spurs here. As O'Neal will inbound it to Jalen Green. But you know, one other player that's been playing pretty good was Grayson Allen. He had those back-to-back threes. And that is off the back iron. Johnson will get the rebound. No need to tell you the lineup set because it's a starting five for both teams. For the Suns, it is Booker, Green, Hayes Davis, O'Neal, and Williams. And for the Spurs, Fox, Castle, Vassell, Johnson, and Wembanyama. As we see that dunk there, bringing the Spurs to within 11 here. It's 11:20 to play in the third. Devin Booker for three, no good. Johnson grabbing the rebound. Dishing it back over to Fox. Fox for three. That is out as Williams will grab the rebound for the Suns. Hayes Davis with it. Hayes Davis, no good. Vassell grabbing the rebound. Over to Fox. Fox for three, no good. Booker will grab the rebound. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as Devin Booker with the bucket, putting the Suns back up by 13. But Wembanyama, though, with the dunk, bringing the Spurs within 11. We all love to see a good story. Booker coming around over to O'Neal. O'Neal for three, no good. Wembanyama grabbing a rebound. Over to Stephon Castle. Castle dishing it back to Wemby. Wemby back to Johnson. Back over to Castle. Castle for three. No good. And over to Devin Booker. Booker over to Green. Green back to Booker. Booker with it. Coming around. That is Vassell. That is no good for Devin Vassell. Grabbing the rebound for Vassell. Back over to Johnson. 9.5 to play in the third. Over to Castle. Castle for three. That's in there. And the Spurs are within 8. Jalen Green with it crossing the half-court line. Over to Booker. 14 on the shot clock. Over to Hayes Davis for three. Off the back iron. And Johnson grabbing the rebound for the Spurs. So 3 minutes into the second half. 51-43. That was a shot by Castle, but Wembanyama with the offensive rebound. They got points off a turnover, 6-4 in favor of the Suns, but the Spurs are within 6. Hayes Davis for 3, no good. Wembanyama with the rebound. Vassell has it over to Keldon Johnson. Over to Fox, 8.5 to play. Over to Wemby. Wemby for 3. That's in there. Victor Wembanyama only had 8 points in that first half. He's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second half as the Spurs are within 3. As I said, it was a 13-point lead for the Suns as there's a big 3 by Jalen Green. It was 13-point lead for the Suns going into the second half. I see Fox for 3. That's in there. It's only a 4-point game. De'Aaron Fox with only 13 points. Booker. There you go. 7:32 to play here in the third. 54-50. Suns on top. Push it over to Booker. Booker for 3. No good. Johnson grabbing the rebound. Over to Fox. Fox for 3. No good. Wembanyama with the offensive rebound in the tip-in. Timeout, Suns. We are going to take a timeout as well. 7:06 to play in the third. Coming out of timeout here, 54-52. The Suns on top, as I said. It was a 13-point lead going into the second half, but now the Spurs have cut it to within 2. We look at Royce O'Neal getting ready to inbound it here. 20 on the shot clock for the Suns, I should say. You see Jalen Green with it. There's a 3. No good. Wembanyama grabbing a rebound. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That is Wembanyama with the rebound. What am I talking about here? We're not going to see SGA for a week or so. Wembanyama coming around, back over to Johnson. Johnson with the layup, and we are tied at 54. As we have under 6.5 to play in the third. 54-54. It's an 18-5 run to start the second half for the Spurs. Hayes Davis back over to Green. Green for 3. No good. Wembanyama grabbing the rebound. Chance for the Spurs to take the lead. They did have a brief lead early on as you see Fox with the bucket. That's in there. De'Aaron Fox putting the Spurs on top by 2. He has 15 in this game. 8 of them in the paint. And now you see the crowd coming alive here at the Frostbank Center. And there, Booker will lose it as Fox will come out the steal over to Stephon Castle, over to Johnson. Johnson with the layup. That's in there. It's a 4-point lead for the Spurs. Now part of a 22-5 run. See Booker over to Williams now. 13 on the shot clock. This should back to Green. Green for 3. No good. Vassell grabbing the rebound. Five minutes to play in the third. Back over to Wembanyama. Wemby for Castle. Castle coming around with the slam dunk. It is 60-54. Devin Booker. This should be back over to Royce O'Neal. Over to Booker. Booker coming around. That is in there, and that will end a big drought there for the Phoenix Suns. They're within 4. In there, Castle. That is no good. As we see Jackson Hayes Davis coming around with it. Hayes Davis with the layup. That is in there. Suns within 2. 4 minutes to play in the third. The Spurs have outscored the Suns 24-9. That is no good. Green with the rebound. You see Hayes Davis coming around. They should have back over to Booker. Booker with it. 3 on the shot clock. Booker coming around. That's in there, and we are tied at 60. You're looking at all these players waiting to come back into the game for the Spurs, for both teams, I should say. Timeout Spurs. 3:14 to play in the third. We're going to take a timeout. We are tied at 60. And the lineup set now for the Suns. Booker, Goodwin, Allen, Iguodala, Richards. Now the lineup set coming out of the timeout. And for the San Antonio Spurs, we have Fox, Castle, Johnson, Barnes, Wembanyama. Harrison Barnes getting ready to inbound it here. 20 on the shot clock. Fox has it over here. Just shoot over to Barnes. Barnes. 13 on the shot clock over to Castle. Castle! That is no good. Iguodala grabbing a rebound. Chance for the Suns to retake the lead. Booker for 3. And he got it! Devin Booker with 29 points. 9 of them here in the second quarter. And the Suns on a 9-0 run now. They regain the lead, 63-60. Wemby for 3. No good. Grayson Allen with the rebound. So we're under 2.5 minutes to play in the third. Here in this playing game, number 2 in the Western Conference. This is a 10-9 game. You see Richards with the bucket. It's now an 11-0 run, and the lead is back up to 5 for the Suns. It's in there. Wembanyama coming around. That is in there. That will end that little 11-0 run there. So we look at the last almost 2 minutes and 40 seconds now. 11-2 run now for the Suns. That was followed by giving up a 24-5 run for the Spurs to have a 6-point lead. Goodwin, 4 on the shot clock. They should head back over to Booker. Booker for 3, no good. Castle grabbing a rebound here. Under a minute and a half to play in the third. Johnson with it. Johnson back to Castle. Back over to Johnson. 15 on the shot clock. Over to Wembanyama. 10 on the shot clock. Back over to Johnson. Back to Barnes. Barnes for 3. That's in there. We are tied at 65. Goodwin coming around. Dish it over to Booker here. Under a minute to play in the third. Over to Goodwin. And there's the alley-oop to Richards. Oh, no, that's Iguodala, I believe. A little too fast there, but either way, the Suns regain the lead, 67-65. Fox coming around with a dunk, and we are tied once again at 67. Goodwin crossing the half-court line. No, that was Richards. You see Devin Booker with it. Booker coming around the layup. That's in there. I believe that's 31 for him in this game. Very nice. 69. 69-67. You hear the Go Spurs Goes chant here. Game clock ahead of the shot clock by a couple seconds, so the Fox does have to get a shot up. He almost lost it for a second. That's a miss right there for Goodwin. And Goodwin will not get a half-court shot up. Game of runs here. It's the Spurs leading at 69-67 at the end of 3. You're watching the play-in tournament on V-Dub Productions. We'll be back to start the fourth. State Farm assists of the game. That is an alley-oop attempt. Richards had the alley-oop there. So it was very interesting. It was 49-36 starting the third quarter. Spurs go on a 24-5 run to go up by 6. Then it was an 11-0 run for the Suns to go back up by 5. As you see, Wembanyama will get the shot up, no good. Iguodala with the rebound. Go up by 5, and then Spurs came back with 5 quick points and has been back and forth since then. As Jalen Green with the bucket, 71-67. So that was basically their quick summarization of the third quarter. Wembanyama for 3. No good. Grayson Allen grabbing a rebound. But if you enjoy what you see here, please hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification to receive notifications when these videos do come out. I see Jalen Green for 3. No good. Wembanyama with the rebound. Reminding you guys, this is the 10 versus 9 game, where the winner moves on. Will take on the Golden State Warriors for the right to play the Los Angeles Clippers in the first round. The winner of that one will go play the Clippers to start the first round. As we see 2 on the shot clock. That's off the back iron, no good. And the loser of this game, they're home for the rest of the season. Gives it over to Grayson Allen. Allen dishing it back over to Iguodala. Iguodala over to Green. Jalen Green for 3. No good. Barnes will grab the rebound here. Still plenty of time in this game, in this now closely contested game. As Iguodala with the rebound now. Grayson Allen has it. Allen's hit a couple of big shots. And now Iguodala will come around. Grayson Allen with the assist there. Allen's actually played pretty well off the bench for the Suns, as we have a timeout called. 9:43 left in the fourth. We're going to take a timeout. The Suns leading it by 6. Let's look at the lineup set for the Phoenix Suns here. Coming out of the timeout here, we have Booker, Green, Allen, Iguodala, Richards. And I don't think we have anybody. Vassell Waters the third with Wembanyama. I see that was looking at the scoreboard. Sohan. And I think that's Vassell out there. And Harrison Barnes, yeah. So I think I got the lineup sets quickly for both teams. I see Victor Wembanyama with that shot up that's in there. 23 points for Victor Wembanyama. He did struggle in that first half, but he has lit it up here in the second half. Keeping the Spurs within the game, within 4, and it was part of that big 24-5 run to go up by 6. Green for 3, no good. Wembanyama coming around. See Jeremy Sohan with Waters. Wembanyama over to Vassell. Vassell back to Wemby. And Wemby's going to go to the line for an and one opportunity with Richards call for his first personal foul. He's not too happy there. We got a substitution out on the court. Keldon Johnson coming back into the game. Harrison Barnes moving the power forward, and Sohan going to the bench. Wembanyama shooting 1 for a chance to complete the three-point play. So we're over 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. And there's a shot right there. Devin Booker coming around, dishing it back over to Iguodala. Green now has it inside. Getting a little bit of a screen. Jalen Green with a shot up. That is no good. Johnson will grab the rebound. Gives it back over to Lindy Waters III. Over to Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. Johnson coming through. Jumper. That is in there, and the Spurs regain the lead. 74-73 here as we're approaching 8 minutes to play here in the fourth. Green back to Richards. Over to Devin Booker. See Booker over to Grayson Allen. Over to Richards. Richards coming around with the layup. Richards putting the Suns on top by 1 again. We'll remind everybody that the play-in tournament continues tomorrow, but we'll have both games in the Eastern Conference. As you see, Wembanyama with the layup, putting the Spurs on top by 1 again. We'll have the 7 versus 8 game where we're in Detroit with the 8 seed Miami Heat playing the 7 seed Detroit Pistons here. There's Green for 3, and the Suns leading it by 2. The winner of that Heat Pistons game will take on the number 2 seed, the Atlanta Hawks, in the Eastern Conference quarterfinal series, while the loser will host the winner of the 9-10 game. That would be the Toronto Raptors as a 10 seed and the 9 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. That's a miss right there. Iguodala grabbing the rebound. Booker. 10 on the shot clock. And there's a layup right there. Devin Booker with 33 points. I believe those are his first 2 of this fourth quarter. They're going to need him to start scoring. You're going to have to rely on him to start scoring a little bit more. He's been a very big consistent factor in this game for the Suns. Wemby coming around. There's Vassell for 3. That's in there. Spurs are within 1 as we now halfway through the fourth quarter. Jalen Green. As you see, De'Aaron Fox waiting to get back into the game. Booker coming around. This is over to Green. Green for 3. No good. Wembanyama grabbing the rebound. Over to Harrison Barnes. Devin Vassell with it. I believe that might be Stephon Castle waiting to get into the game with De'Aaron Fox. Wemby back over to Vassell. Over to Lindy Waters the third. No good. Grayson Allen with the rebound. I've called his name throughout a lot of things. Assists, rebounds, and points scored. See Booker over to Iguodala. Iguodala back to Booker. Booker coming around. I believe that might have been an air ball. I don't know. We didn't hear the chance, but you see Harrison Barnes with a tip in, and the Spurs are on top by 1 here. 4:45 to play here in the fourth. 81-80. The Suns on top. As I said, the winner will be traveling to San Francisco to take on the Golden State Warriors in the play-in game for the right to be the 8th seed and play the Los Angeles Clippers. Green for 3, no good. That game will be on Sunday, February 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Over to Johnson. Johnson for 3, no good. Richards will get the rebound. Over to Grayson Allen. Back over to Iguodala. Iguodala with the bucket. And the Suns are on top by 1 again. Wembanyama with the slam dunk, and the Spurs are in the lead again. We have ourselves a back and forth game. Neither team wanting to go home. Neither team would want to be in a position where they had to win 2 games. As you see, Jalen Green with the 3. The Spurs are on. The Suns are back on top by 2. Waters back over to Wemby. Wemby for 3. No good. Iguodala with the rebound. Dishing it back over to Green. Green coming around to Booker. Booker for 3. No good. Vassell with the rebound. Barnes with it. Barnes coming around. And that's stolen by Jalen Green here. 3 minutes to play. Coming around with a bucket. No good. Vassell with the rebound. See Victor Wembanyama back over to Devin Vassell. Over to Johnson. Johnson over to Wembanyama. Wembanyama dishing it back over to Waters. Waters for 3. That's in there! Lindy Waters putting the Spurs back on top by 1. 2.5 minutes to play, and there is a timeout by the Suns. Back and forth game, Spurs leading it by 1. We are going to take a timeout. We are coming out of timeout here. Let's look at the Suns lineup set. We got Booker, Green, Hayes, Davis, O'Neal, and Williams. So the starting lineup is back out. For the Spurs, let's see, Fox, Castle, Vassell, Johnson, and Wembanyama. So the starting five for both teams are back out on the court to finish this 2.5 here. Final 2.5 of possibly regulation. Here, 10 on the shot clock. Devin Booker being guarded by Fox. Booker dishes it over to Hayes. Feeds Booker again. 3 on the shot clock. Booker getting the shot up. That is no good. Wembanyama with the rebound. Over to Vassell. The Suns led by as many as 13. Fox will miss that one, but the Spurs' largest lead was 6. Chance for the Suns to come. Oh, but Wembanyama with the block there. Now Fox has it here. 1:43 to play here in the fourth. 14 on the shot clock. 8 on the shot clock. Fox coming around with the layup. That's in there. It's a 3-point lead. 19 points for De'Aaron Fox here. Under 1.5 to play in the fourth. Booker coming around. That's another block by Wembanyama. And he controls it. 3. That's in there. Devin Vassell putting the Spurs on top by 6. 1:15 to play. Are the Spurs going to pull away here? And as Booker is going to go to the line for 2, De'Aaron Fox will get called for his second personal. We got 1:07 to play in the fourth. Huge free throws for the Suns coming up. They gotta make these if they want to save their season. Booker will make the first one. See, Devin Booker will hit the second one. It is a 4-point game. No need to foul just yet, but the Spurs also could take their time. Fox coming around. They shoot it back over to Stephon Castle. Castle for 3. No good, Williams, but they do have to get a quick shot up here. They don't need to get a quick shot. They can't take their time. Green for 3. No good. And there's Johnson with the rebound, and there's a foul for Mark Williams. Now, here's a question. Do they foul immediately again? You know how AI logic does for this game. They're not going to foul yet. Not sure why they're not fouling. They probably should have fouled like 10 seconds ago. But that's just me, though. Castle coming around. Layup, that's in there. I don't understand why, but there is a timeout by the Suns. 21.7 to go here in the fourth. 6-point lead for the Spurs. We're going to take a timeout. Coming out of timeout here, it is a 6-point lead for the Spurs. That matches their largest of the game. 21.7 to play here in the fourth. This is the last time the Suns will be able to actually advance it from the front court. But they got to get a shot up quickly. It doesn't matter if it's a 2 or 3. Green over to Booker. Booker thought about it for a second. He will get the shot up. That's in there! Suns within 3. And now they'll call a foul there. And first personal foul, third team foul. If I were the Spurs, I would try to make the first one and miss the second one to try to take some time off the clock here. As you see Vassell, 11 and 10. But that's Stephon Castle that's on the line. I just looked at the stats for the San Antonio Spurs that you saw on that scoreboard. There's the first one right there. But do they try to make the second one, or do they miss to try to take some time off the clock? They do hit the second one. Not against that at all, but I thought maybe you want to try to make even more time off the clock. Hayes Davis for 3! He nails it. They got a quick shot up, and now they'll get the foul there. Royce O'Neal That's his first, as Fox is going to go to the line to try to shoot two. Looking at Victor Wembanyama's stats, I believe that's 30 and 24 for him. That's a 30-20 game for him. And he'll make the first one. Now here's the thing. Does he try to miss the second one to try to take time off the clock? That might just ice it right there. They have to get a real quick shot up over Nigel Hayes-Davis for three. They do exactly that, and it's a timeout by the Spurs. We're going to take a timeout with 4.2. Coming out of the timeout here, 1 point game as the Spurs leading it by one. We know they're going to be fouling. We know the Suns are going to foul in this situation. And this is actually a situation now. And there's a foul right there. It only took, I think, maybe 0.7 off the clock. As Fox is going to be shooting for 2 free throws. And for the Spurs, for the Suns, it is not doom and gloom anymore if Fox hits them both, as he hits the first one, because get a big pass out there and you have a shot of getting to three. Booker has it. Half court three. That's an air ball, and that will do it. The San Antonio Spurs will escape the Phoenix Suns. They win 99-96. The Spurs will be playing the Golden State Warriors on Sunday for a chance to be the 8th seed, and the Phoenix Suns are heading home for the season. What a game, though. Definitely epitome of a win-and-go-home classic, with the Suns up by 13 at halftime, and then the Spurs come on a big run, and it was back and forth since then, as you see the player of the game, Victor Wembanyama. Stay tuned, we are not done yet. Time for us to look at the post-game player statistics here. We look at the victorious San Antonio Spurs. Here we got Victor Wembanyama with 30 points, 24 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 4 blocks. What a game for him. That is big reason why the Spurs are keeping their season alive. And De'Aaron Fox, 23 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists, 2 steals. We got Stephon Castle, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 assist. Followed by Devin Vassell with 11 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Then we got Keldon Johnson with 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Harrison Barnes with 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Lindy Waters with 3 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. Jeremy Sohan, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Luke Cornett with 1 assist. Then we got Carter Bryant, Julian Champagnie, Jordan McLaughlin did not play for the San Antonio Spurs. And now for the Phoenix Suns in defeat. Devin Booker in his final game of the season, 38 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal. Then we got Jalen Green with 18 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Nick Richards, 12 points, 7 rebounds. Then we got Grayson Allen that had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, and 1 steal off the bench. Nigel Hayes-Davis, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. We got Oso Iguodala, 5 points, 8 rebounds. Mark Williams, 3 points and 12 rebounds. Then we got Royce O'Neal with 2 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Jordan Goodwin, 2 rebounds and 3 assists. Rasheer Fleming had 1 assist. Colin Gillespie, Jared Butler did not play for the Suns. And that is it for your post-game player statistics. And as I said, we look at the current alignment in the Western Conference here. We have the Golden State Warriors hosting the San Antonio Spurs, and the winner of that game will go to play the Los Angeles Clippers in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs, while the loser of that game will join the Phoenix Suns at the golf course or in Cancun, wherever they decide they want to spend their off season at. That game, of course, will be on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. to kick things off for the Sunday elimination games. And now we head to tomorrow's schedule. It will be an Eastern Conference doubleheader coming up tomorrow on Valentine's Day. If you have nothing better to do in life, hey, watch some of my videos here. 3 p.m. Eastern, you got the Detroit Pistons hosting the Miami Heat in the 7-8 game. The winner of that will play the Atlanta Hawks as the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will have the 9-10 game, the elimination game, featuring the Cleveland Cavaliers hosting the Toronto Raptors. And that will be, of course, a winner move on to play the loser of that Detroit-Miami game. And then the loser of that Cleveland-Toronto game will be going to Cancun or wherever they choose their offseason to be at. And that is it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. As I said, I'm hoping to get past the second round before I start MLB The Show content. And there's also a link to my Cash App in the description down below. Once again, I keep mentioning this. You do not have to donate to enjoy my content, but it is much appreciated, as any amount would be good. Any amount would help me out a lot. So I do appreciate you guys, but also don't forget, if you hit that subscribe and watch these videos, that you are also supporting this channel as well. And I want to remind you before I sign off, the final score of the game, that's San Antonio Spurs behind a big 30-20 effort by Victor Wembanyama. They come back from 13 down at halftime to defeat the Phoenix Suns 99-96. San Antonio will be playing the Warriors for the right to be the 8th seed in the Western Conference playoff. That game, of course, coming up on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. The Suns are home, and I am Vinny from Vita Productions, and I am signing off.